We are delighted to have with us today Mr. Amar Kaul, Chairman and Managing Director, Ingersoll Rand India Limited, as a keynote speaker for the evening. Mr. Amar Kaul is also Vice President for the Territory of India, Middle East and Africa for Ingersoll Rand's Industrial Technologies and Services, and is responsible for providing strategic leadership for all aspects of compressed air business that includes growth through innovation and focus on growth excellence, emerging markets while building organizational capability. Mr. Amar joined Ingersoll Rand in 2011 and has led organizational changes while taking his role expansion in his stride. Also member of CII National Committee on Manufacturing, Capital Goods and MNCs, Mr. Amar has over 28 years of rich and varied experience across manufacturing industries. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Amar Kaul. Over to you, Mr. Amar.
Thank you so much, Taruna. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay.
Very well, thank you.
Very excited to be here, and I think it's more the excitement, it's also the emotional thing, getting connected with FFE and talking to the young future of India. So very excited, and I was looking forward to this interaction. So to start with a bit of context for who we are as Ingersoll Rand, we are a large diversified multinational, about $6.5 billion company. And one of our core values is to think and act like an owner. Now, what does it mean? It means that if you think like an owner for your business, you help sustain the planet and also support the communities where we operate in. And since we have our manufacturing facility in Ahmedabad, in Gujarat, so that's why the connect is very natural. And with that focus, joining hands with Foundation for Excellence in their mission to transform the lives of academically bright students. We have about 30 students enrolled through Ingersoll Rand partnership under CSR commitment. And the program has been designed to support students in managing their learning, developing their skills, explore the potential, and be the person they want to be and live your dreams. Now, staying motivated as a student, most of us have gone through this journey. I did my engineering way back in 1992, mechanical engineering. So you have ups and downs in life in the engineering college, and I'm sure we have people from medical, engineering, law, pharmaceutical, etc. Now, sometimes one of the biggest obstruction that can come in your way, and that's something that I want to talk a bit and share some of my experiences. And with so many, I heard that there are 650 plus students from different fields here. So some, three learnings that I will be talking about. First one is get your fundamentals clear. When we are in the engineering college or your medical or pharmaceutical, one is rote learning. I don't think that goes for a long time. I think structurally there has been a lot of change in the way academics have worked in India. So some 30 years back when I did my engineering, it used to be like, if you know your subject, the class teacher has taught you, you remember that, do the calculation and you're all set, right? And I used to be, by the way, I'm not shy of saying that, I used to be a very average student. The intention was to, make sure that you don't flunk, of course, but, it was just to make sure that you get decent marks and qualify that. And one of the reasons that happened also is because I was not able to connect back to how does it help in the practical world, right? Today, when I see engineering colleges, there's a huge difference in what it used to be, right? And I also qualified from one of the NITs, which used to be RECs in those days. But connecting with the practical world, if I'm studying a subject, how does it relate to, how is it going to help me in future when I start my journey? So I think that connect is very important. And second example linking to that was when I did my master's from UK, University of Warwick. And I remember the first course, there were five courses. So one of the courses I had was on project planning and management, right? And so the first test I did there, so I got 47 marks out of 100. And that was a shock, it was never so low. I said, what the hell happened? And then I set up a time with my British professor. I said, what happened? I answered, everything was perfect. And what he talked about, he set up the time and almost for an hour we chatted. And he said, Amar, what we want to see is what is in your head. We don't want to see what is in the book, copy paste of that. Yeah. So that's not what is important. Important is we talk about a concept, we talk about a subject, we want to see how do you use your head and interpret and see it from a different lens, right? I think that's what makes the difference. And with almost 28 years in the industry, and I think, I don't forget those days and live by those. What did that professor mean at that point of time? And then that actually changed the whole thing. Getting 47 marks out of 100, and when I passed out my master's from University of Warwick in UK, I was the second topper in the university with a silver medal. So that's the cultural shift when you see, it's not only rote learning, it is the application. Why are you doing something, whether you're in medical, whether you're in engineering area or law or pharmaceutical. So make sure that, you connect the dots, right? Other point related to the same is set your milestones in the moment you start, complete your education, get into the industry, set your milestones at certain age. What do you want to do? Take those steps very, very clearly, and everybody is different, right? So I'm not giving you guideline or any gyan that, you should be so and so by 25, 30, 35, 40. You decide what you want to do so that you have a roadmap, a long-term plan, right? Second point, I want to talk about challenge status quo. Okay, come out of your comfort zone. If you are, the moment you see in any, whether you are in your studies, you go into the industry, the moment you see you're very comfortable, at the back of your mind, you can do these things, challenge yourself. And I have lived that kind of role, I think till my last job, 10 years back, I joined Ingersoll Rand. I would have practically done all the function, from engineering to operations to manufacturing. And that's what I used to be a hardcore shop floor person. And then I said, if I want to be a CEO, what is missing? So what was missing was the commercial acumen. So customers was not a problem. I used to deal with the customers, but then I was never sitting across the table. I used to buy things, but then I had not sold things, right? So I took the plunge at the age of 40 that I need to take the plunge into that. So big risk, right? From my comfort zone, growth, etc., jump into that. And I think something must have happened, right? And that's why I'm here and the role is expanding. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So keep challenging yourself. Don't get into the comfort zone. The third point, last but not least, is keep investing in yourself. Okay. So if you don't invest into yourself at any point of time, because learning has to be till you die. It cannot be when I become 40, I know everything. When I become 60, when I retire, then I don't need to learn. Keep learning yourself. And a simple example of that is, I remember the first time I saw a computer was in my third year of engineering, right? And that used to be a lab, sealed lab. There used to be permission to go inside. There used to be those huge, bulky desktops. And then we had to remove our shoes, wear some cover on top of it, take permission only for 1 hour. And then we would play and see what is this, fancy thing coming there. So from there, where you are in the digital world today, and if you don't keep investing and keep learning, you're obsolete. So these are 3 things that I thought probably from the life lessons that I would like to share with you, all of you, that should potentially help you. And while we are enrolled for the education here, which will be imparted, by someone externally to help you gain knowledge, skills, value, and attitude required for that, it's a continuous thing till you continue learning. Now, how to make you industry ready? One is, contribution from us as a corporate. That's one part of it. But second, that I want to take a step forward, and I'm sure the team will talk to FFE as well, is I really want all our employees across India to get engaged for the skill set they have. For example, tomorrow when you appear for your interviews to get into the corporate world, how can we help you prepare for those, right? We can have our HR teams or senior leaders talk to you, have that session, any mentoring session that you want. And I'm sure the teams that we have created, and they'll be very happy to do that kind of activity with you, because you remember, everybody makes money, that's definitely required, but what makes you happy and what you remember when you look back in your career is how many lives have you impacted? How many lives difference have you made to somebody? That is something that really makes you happy. Okay, so that's all from my side. I don't want to make it very long. Sorry if I take a lot of time, but then I hope this was useful for you guys. And thank you, everybody. All the best.